Oh, okay.
There we go.
As Ben mentioned, I'm Shweta Kaur and I live locally in Chelmsford. The slides which are up on the screen are something which I did a presentation as it's dated on 25th March at the State Primary School Academy, and I have been approached by a couple of other schools as well to come and give little informative talk for little kids around what is Sikhism. So, assuming that the information is limited at this point, I would just like to speak on the basics of. So, Sikh is a religion. The name itself is Sikh, and the person who follows the religion. So Sikh actually, if you translate that into Hindi, Punjabi, it literally translates to something called a learner. So someone who is learning. So Sikhism is a way of life rather than just saying this is what a Sikh is. And one of the core principle I would like to highlight is there is a belief of strong, there's only one God, um, and there is one supreme power, and all gods are same for us. So we have this belief where no god is like nobody is higher or below anybody even in terms of belief of God. So there's one supreme power, and that's God. Ben, if you just want to move to next slide, please. So it's the fifth largest religion in the world. It's kind of like one of the most youngest in terms of when it was formed. I would say it's somewhere between 550 to 600, which sounds huge if you look at number wise, but it is one of the youngest religion in the world. And the symbol which is up there on the right hand bottom is Ek Omkar, which means one God, which I just mentioned. And it says like we all are created by one, we all have one creator, and our existence is unanimous. It's like we have same values built in, and then people just take different paths. Next one, please. So when we meet and greet anybody, we say Sat Sri Akal, which means it's in the Punjabi language, which means that truth is residing up within us and it's above all. And when we hold hands, we fold our hands, which means we bow down, bow down to person in front to the energy which is there, because we are not, we don't treat ourselves anybody higher than the person who's in front of us. So it's about like we are equal in our Sikh faith, and so it's like a respect term. Shri is a very common term in Hindu language as well, which means it's a respectful term. And Akal is timeless. So Akal is very important. Akal word is very important. You might also have some students with the name of Akal Singh. I mean, I'm going to talk about Singh and Kaur later, but Akal is meaning timeless, which is our understanding, which is our belief of in God as well, because a God cannot have shape, size, or form. It is timeless power. It is a timeless energy source, and that's what Akal means. It's never something which cannot be destructed, something which cannot be touched ever, and that's the ultimate truth. Next one, please. So just excuse me if the slides is little basics for you all, because I prepared this for like kids 3 to first to second stand class. So the picture there is of Guru Nanak, which is our founder of Sikh religion, and he has this inculcates of belief where it says God is one, and it is it is, as I said, Akal is like formless. It does not have a gender. It does not have a form. It does not have a shape. It doesn't have a time frame as well. And then come for key teachings from Guru Nanak is about everyone is equal, social justice, basic human rights, dignity of food, dignity of basic hygiene is something everyone deserves. That is what everyone is equal stands for there. And one of the core reasons why Guru Nanak formed Sikh religion was to get riddance uh, from the societal, cultural obligations which stood between human and God. It's like God meant, and then rituals of doing certain things, and then being told like only if you I'm just giving a random example, like only if you do a process of worship in a certain way, only then you can meet God. Or if you fast for a number of days, you meet God. If you do a certain procession of X number of days, only then you meet God. So to eradicate that gap between us as a human and God, he formed this Sikh religion, which in Sikh religion there is no restriction, there is no strict rules on you should fast or you should do this kind of rituals. So there is elimination of rituals was something which Guru Nanak was looking towards when he spoke about having a Sikh faith. And one of the core things he stressed on was kindness and respect, which is emphasized in the concept of Sarbat Da Bhala. So Sarbat Da Bhala is a Punjabi word, and Sarbat means everyone. Da Bhala means their well-being. Bhala means good. So everyone should be treated good, as in how I want myself to be treated by you. I should treat you the same way is what means by Sarbat Da Bhala. And when I'm doing something, my deed should be something which is for the benefit of wider group rather than just myself. So that's like the core essence of our belief. Please let me know if you have any questions on any slides as we go. I'm happy to take them as well. Right. I'll take silence as golden. Next one, please. So there are three pillars of Sikhism: Naam Japo, Kirat Karo, and One Chako. And I will go in detail to all three of them. So Naam Japo is chanting the name of God, where whoever, whatever form of God you believe in, if you chant the name, that is like the principle of Sikhism is you meditate on the name of God, which is Naam Japo. Naam means name, Japo means meditate on that. The second is Kirat Karo. Kirat is an honest living. Karo means your deeds. So Sikhism has a very, very strong belief on not getting involved in any false dealings, in any betting, any fraudulent transactions in terms of scams and stuff. Honest living is something very, very focused on earning by honest means, and it doesn't matter if you earn less or more. Whatever you earn should be by honest means, and that honest means should be shared with others, which is Vandate Chako means Chako means you eat and one means you distribute. So whatever you eat, you have to distribute with your community. So Sikhism has very, very core importance given to the community we live in, and it's the law of the land which is usually followed. I'm not sure, Kara, if you were speaking to me, but you were on mute. So um, so yeah, so I was on one Kichako means sharing with others. So when a Sikh earns something of, or ideally he and she is expected to give 1/10 of their earnings to charity, in charity, and it is something which is called daswand, means 1/10 of your earning. Das means 10, and one means the 10th part of it, and that comes from lifelong selfless service towards others, which is called seva. So seva is very, very important in Sikhism. Remembering God means Naam Japo, Kirat Karo, and Van Ke Chako. So being an integral part of the community is very, very crucial for Sikh. Even this group we have called Hazuri Sikhs of Chelmsford, we try to have as many social interactions with the wider public as possible. We recently did a stall in High Street for celebrating our Formation Day, where we distributed free food to everybody who was coming to the on at High Street at our stall. We had free medical camp, and we had a presentation of our Sikh martial arts just for awareness. So that's like the core essence. So if anybody is talking about Sikhism, they will have to know as a Sikh, they will definitely will have to do inclusion with the community. That's the core essence skill sets. Next one, please. So the one on the left of the screen is the picture of the holy book where which we worship. It is called Guru Granth Sahib. Guru means the teacher. Granth is means collection of all the information in a book. And Sahib is the way of respecting, calling sir, like, however you would respect someone, Sahib. So we have 10 gurus in Sikhism, and Guru Nanak Dev Ji was the first one who formed Sikh religion. And then we had 10 gurus, and most of them were not a direct descent of the previous one, because again, Guru Nanak Dev Ji's second guru was not his own family member, was not his own son, because he believed that the authority should be transferred based on the skills rather than just being someone from the same family. And when it happened that our 10th guru came into form, uh, at that time it was the era was such that he ordered us to stop believing in any further gurus. So any man, any god man or anybody is not encouraged or accepted in Sikh religion. The only God for us in life in a live physical form is this Guru Granth Sahib book. And this book you will find in every Gurudwara, which is the worship place for Sikh. And this is the only book where Sikh will go and bow down to it, walk a circle around it, paying our respect, and then come in front and then bow down and then sit. So this is our ultimate guru. Sikhism does not encourage idol worship or photos, anything like that, because Sikhism was about getting rid of anything between you and the God. So this scripture is a compilation of all the teachings of all the 10 gurus in there, and it also has a lot of teachings, hymns, songs, poetry, stories from other books as well, which is not Sikh, which was not Sikh at that point. So it's like it's at the moment it's something which has hymns from all the different languages as well, like Sanskrit, Urdu, Arabic, Persian. So Persian was mostly the language at that point which was spoken when Guru Gobind Singh Ji ordered us to make this 10th guru. After his 10th guru, this is our final guru. And anybody who comes and claims like I'm a Sikh guru, they are not. They're probably just frauds. Okay, next one, please. So on the left on top is the picture of a very famous Gurudwara called the Golden Temple in India, in Punjab, North India. So that's just one of the Gurdwaras of the world. So not all Gurdwaras are gold, but this is probably the most famous one. That's why I put that picture to resonate with a lot of people. And that's called Gurdwara, Sikh worship place, and everyone is welcome in Gurdwara. So if we have a huge Gurdwara in Gravesend, Kent, as well as a lot of Gurdwaras in East London, in Ilford, and a lot of other places, and in Southall, in Central London, Shepherd Bush, and all, where we do see a lot of school children being brought in just to show them around, have a conversation, experience going in there. And in the morning and in the evening, there is a prayer service in the Gurdwara, whereas reading is done from the hymns of Guru Granth Sahib from the book. And then the other core concept is of langar, which is, you can see on the right-hand side at the bottom, people are sitting down and having vegetarian free food for all. So the concept of langar comes, which is a free community kitchen, comes back from the previous slide we spoke about. One ke chako means you have to share as a Sikh. Whatever you have to share. It doesn't matter how less you have or how much more you have to share and eat with the community. And usually people sit down and eat, but there are now benches and chairs as well available in UK Gurdwaras because of weather, and if aged people cannot, sit down and eat. So if anybody wishes to do a tour of Gurdwara, you will be more than welcome by the committee of the Gurdwara, where you can take school kids there, take them to the temple upstairs, just sit around for some time, probably do a bit of meditation, come down, have langar, and probably if you go around the right timing, or you can ask them for kirtan, which is like live singing of the hymns and prayers. And on the left hand side, there are like the musical instruments, harmonium and tabla, which is very common in Gurdwara. There are other traditional instruments as well, but this is more common in UK. Next one, please. So as I mentioned, there are the other picture is for the school kids saying super sing and super core. So there are 10 gurus, and on the left hand side is the picture of our 10th Guru, Shri Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And he founded Khalsa Panth, which is, so a Sikh journey is a learner. And then when he was in the ruling, he founded Khalsa Panth, and he gave us our distinct identities. So he gave us the 5 Ks, which is very, very important. One is case, which means hair. So we have uncut hairs. So I have not cut my hairs ever in my life, and my husband have not cut hairs. And in our family, nobody does. In Sikh families, nobody does as a Sikh. So that's the first K, 5 out of the 5K. Then there is kadha. So kadha, that is something which I'm wearing. I'm not sure if I can show, but this is like the iron bangle kind of thing. It's made of iron, pure iron. And it's kada. So why is it made of pure iron? Is because for us to remind that we have to be pure, and what we are doing is needs to be deed of God. Like, do not involve yourself in any fraudulent activities, or don't do anything which you wouldn't feel right accepting in front of your guru. The third is, so I've said, uh, case is hair, kanga, sorry, kada, and kanga. So kanga is a small comb, which usually all the men will have in their turban, which is to keep the hair clean, because as I mentioned, hygiene is very important, to be presentable, to be ready for any help needed. So because we have long hair, so that there is kanga, which is by rule given to us so that we keep ourselves well maintained. Then there is kachera, which is actually a warrior shorts. So because when the Sikh religion was formed and Khalsa Panth was formed, there was a lot of atrocities going around in the north parts of India, where there was a lot of wars going on. So kachera is like a shorts. So a Sikh is always wearing shorts. That means they're always ready. It's called Tyar Bar Tyar, means they're always ready. If any battle happens, then they should be ready in a proper, presentable way, in a decent way. And the last is kirpan, which I think is most popular in the 5Ks when I go into schools and take a small kirpan with me, which is a small sword, which is by laws, it is allowed for every baptized Sikh to carry, even in stadiums, in airports, even on flights, international flights, with the exception of few countries in probably Asia. Domestic flights they don't allow, but other than that, internationally it is allowed. So that's like the 5Ks of Sikhism: case, kanga, kadha, kirpan, and kachera. So that's the 5Ks. And then the other most important thing of Khalsa, being a Khalsa, is Khalsa means pure. So to eradicate the caste system, Guru Nanak Dev Ji founded the Sikh religion, that everybody should be treated equal. But I would say, like, you can see it as Guru Nanak Dev Ji founded the journey as a first Sikh, and by the time the 10th Guru came, he formalized it. Like he gave that identity a name, like a Khalsa. And then so in India, if you speak to someone, and if someone is from India, so if I'm speaking to someone and if someone tells me their name, especially if they are from, it's like if they just tell me their name with a surname or probably a father's name, I can easily understand, or probably at least guess 80% of the time correct, that what area they come from, what is their caste, what is the kind of profession they are. So there was a discrimination based on people's name happening, and that's what Guru Gobind Singh Ji wanted to eradicate, so that everybody could be treated equal. And that's why he we don't have any other surnames than Kaurs and Singhs. So all the men are called Singh. So my husband's name is Jaspal Singh. My name is Shweta Kaur, and Kaur means princess. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji said that my boys, like the men are Singh, they are lions, so they will be called Singhs, and ladies, women are to build, women are given utmost respect, highest honor in Sikh religions, and they rear those, it's like they bear those kings, and that's why they are my princes, and that's why we have the surname Kaur. So that's why you will have so many Sikh people named as Kaur and Singh. There are cases where some people don't follow that, but by rule, that's what it is. And I'm that's why I'm Shweta Kaur. And then my sister, and even after marriage, it will be same. So we don't change the surname. So that's the identity which is given to us by Guru Gobind Singh Ji, Kaur and Singhs, and that's why there is a turban where men cover their heads. They tie their head up on top knot, and then they wear a small when they are small kids. So like the picture with the little child there is called Super King. That's called patka, which is a small turban, because that's easy for them to maneuver when they're small, and it's lightweight cloth. And when as men grow, they start wearing turban, and there is a separate procession, which is like when they start wearing big turban, proper one. Next one, please. Oh, so I already spoke about these. So these are actually the picture of the 5 articles of faith. So case is uncut hair. Kanga, as I mentioned, a small wooden comb. Kachera is a soldier shorts, and Kara is something I'm wearing, which I showed you, steel bracelet. It's actually iron. I need to correct on the slide. And then Kirpan is a small religious sword. So that's the pictures of it. And I think that's probably telling something what I already covered. Are there any questions on those? Yeah. All right. So this is like different form of turban. I just wanted to, because I was showing this slide to school kids, I wanted to show as many styles as possible depending on the age, how kids. So if starting from left is a small, it's almost like a handkerchief the little boy on the left hand side is wearing. Then the blue one is the patka. Then there's a turban. Some women also do wear turban, but it's not compulsory, but they do wear out of their choice. And then we also have, like, on the right hand side, he is an actual I think he is from in the police. He is actual thing. I just don't remember his name, but he is currently serving in the British police. And on top is the head of the global bank of I think World Bank leader, Ajay Singh Bunga. So I've just started. I just tried to demonstrate how people will appear as a Sikh. And on the right hand side is women wearing a chunni, which is a shawl. So when we go in a gurdwara, you're required to cover your head. So if you don't have a shawl to cover your head, as you enter on the left hand side, there will be lots of shawls, dupatta. You can just pick one while you're in the Gurdwara, and then leave it there when you're coming out of Gurdwara. So this is talking about Sikh flag and khanda. So um, the I'll start with khanda. So it's the center one is the sword. So a khanda is something which is, I have it actually here. Oops. So I'll just show. So this is something I have, which is, I don't know if I can show it. It's like a tabletop. It's probably gonna disappear because I have a screen like that. So and also one which is in my background is a part of it includes khanda in it. So that's like the central sword. It represents there is one God, and there is a separate truth from lies. So it's that's why the shape of the sword is like that. Then the second one is the chakram, which is the circle bit of it, which symbolizes that there is no end and no beginning. As we said, it's akal, timeless. It stands for unity within the God's rules. And then the sword on the left, on the right, is actually very, very significant in terms of historic event. So it's called Piri, which stands for spiritual domain, and on the right one it stands for Miri, which is political sovereignty. So when the fifth guru was martyred, the fifth guru of Sikhs was the first guru who was martyred because he refused to convert to Islam at that point, and that's when the Sikh. Till that point, Sikhism was about spirituality, but after that point, it started their its own Sikh martial arts called Gatka, which we actually did presentation performance demo in Chelmsford High Street in this May in this year. And so after the fifth guru was martyred, we started looking at martial arts as well. So that's why a Sikh is a combination of deep meditation as well as excellent knowledge of martial arts too for defense. The Nishan Sahib, which on the right side picture is actually a triangular flag, and it's outside. It's usually, if you go in a Gurdwara, it will be outside, placed on a marble stone or some, or probably a different kind of stone, depending on where it is. And it's a symbol of that is a place of Sikh Gurdwara, and it's traditionally colors in blue. So it's like there was traditionally a blue color, and now it's mostly a mustard yellow called basanti, which is mustard yellow orange, and it's a symbol of like a Sikh identity, as any other flag is. And it's so the reason why we have this is because when the Khalsa Panth was formed, it was like a warrior sect, and all the Sikhs in the Khalsa Panth were traditionally trained to do meditation, to do martial arts, to recite poems, do prayers, cook their own food, serve the needy. And one of the core things for Sikh is we can never raise any weapon for starting a fight. That's forbidden in Sikh religion, to start a fight with the weapon given to us by a guru. So it's only for defense, and that's why this khanda, double-edged sword, and the Sikh flag, which is Nishan Sahib, is very, very prompt reminder for us that we cannot misuse the strength of the weapons we are given. So during World Wars, Sikh Sikh soldiers were given the liberty of wearing the turban. That's only because of the core foundation of following those principles of never misusing the power of sword. Any questions on these? No. So as I mentioned about Daswant from the beginning of the slides, is like giving 1/10 of our earnings for service, and it has to be for anybody. Like, we cannot discriminate saying I'm going to give my 10% only to a Sikh need person, Sikhi, or only to Gurdwara. No, I can give it to anybody, anywhere, how much amount I want. And it doesn't have to be just 10%. It has to be minimum 10% of what we are earning. And it's deeply rooted in Sikh religion, because on the right hand side, you see a little girl distributing food when people are sitting down and eating. So it's like we are very practical in terms of the religion is very practical when it comes to, like, you need money to do the charity. We cannot pour from empty jug. So you have to earn honestly, and then you have to distribute. And then it's like a cycle of, doing your work honestly, doing your seva, which is selfless service, and then coming back and then doing it. And that is what is believed, that actually this doing daswan, which is 1/10 of seva, is actually leading us towards Chardi Kala. Chardi Kala means keeping yourself in high spirits, being optimistic, being with a positive attitude, And Sikhism is probably one of the very few religion who at that point stressed about, I wouldn't say spoke about, because I'm sure it's not the only religion who spoke about this, but it was very much focused that people need to take care of their mental health as well as their physical health. So when we talk about the martial arts, we're talking about the physical health of people, and then mental health needs to be kept in place. And that's why there is a spiritual path. So our 10th Guru is known to be one of the greatest warrior in Indian history, as well as he has written most beautiful and most delicate feelings expressing poems. So he sacrificed his four sons for the formation of the religion. His four sons were martyred. Two were burned alive, and two were bricked, like one was bricked alive as well. And they were very young, from starting from 6 years to up to I think 17 years was the eldest. So it's like, and that's why Sikh religion is very, very practical in terms of the teachings are very much relevant today, because it spoke about mental health, it spoke about physical health, it spoke about sacrifices, and it spoke about being defending your rights and defending for others who cannot stand up for themselves. And this is all the things we see nowadays in our life, which are very crucial. So that's why for us as a Sikh, we find everything in our Guru Granth Sahib, because all of this is written in Guru Granth Sahib. So that's why it's like, it's not just a book, even though we call it holy book, we refer to it as a living person and living embody of our Guru, and we actually do worship it as a living embody. So we we put I mean, in the morning we take out Guru Granth Sahib from a room, and we do morning prayers and then evening prayers, and after evening prayers we actually lift the Guru Granth Sahib and keep it inside a room where we believe that Guru is sleeping. So we embody it as a living body with us. So that's a very cute video of it was more relevant for the kids because it was a small cartoon kid telling about Sikh religion. Maybe we can play that or play it later. I don't mind.
I think if we get to any questions that people have got,
Yeah.
and then I can share that video and others with people through the slides, if that's okay, Shweta.
Yeah, sure.
Um, oh, well done everyone for behaving so well.
That's for the kids. Yes, you've done your teachers proud. So yeah, so if you want to contact us, I am sure Ben will be able to share the link to our Instagram page. We are very much active on Instagram, and then we do have a WhatsApp number, but we usually get contacted a lot on Instagram and Facebook, and we respond there. If you want us to come and have this conversation with your team or for kids, depending on classes, we are more than happy to. It's just that we both work full time. So it's the time is my biggest challenge at this point. There is a lot of good intentions, but the main challenge is times for me. So we will work around and see how best we can, accommodate any request, any questions, or if you need any further conversations or talks one-to-one as well, I'm more than happy to.
A good way to meet you, Shweta, would be for people to come along to any Vaisakhi celebrations in Chelmsford, wouldn't it? There's a variety of things throughout the year that you advertise through the Facebook page and Instagram. Um, and that would be it'd be great to time. I mean, that's typically on a Saturday, isn't it? The kind of the celebration.
We have been doing it for 3 years now in a row, and we do it on Saturday. So the actual Vaisakhi is in April, but because we are ourselves busy trying to, attend every Vaisakhi event being organized in different gurdwaras in London and around, we keep it usually in May after the bank holiday, so people are back, and we want to have as many people as possible benefit from the health checkup as well.
So, does anyone have any questions for Shweta based on anything you'd like to clarify or anything you'd like advice on and doing in your schools?
Mm. Mm.
Okay. All right. Shweta, do you know? I'm going to show people some resources a moment. But do you know? Can you see do you know what this is? Do you recognize this?
Of course I do.
So I picked that up. That's some prasads that I got from the Golden Temple in Amritsar 2 years ago. That I meant to give to a Sikh friend, but I seem to have forgotten. But it now forms a good prop for me. Um, so I mean that's probably a reminder of the kind of the emphasis on like that eating together and the parallels with communion, I guess, in Christianity, that kind of accepting faith through that. What for you does the role of food in the temple? I mean, it'd be great just if you could tell us what prasad is, Shweta.
So prasad means I don't know an English word for it, but honestly, prasad means something which is offered to God and then is distributed to everybody. And the packets which you were holding is meant to stay for years because they cook it in a way that it's something which can be eaten even after years. It's dried, made of ghee, which is butter, and atta, which is wheat flour, and then the one you're having is probably having sugar instead of jaggery. And so that's why it stays longer. So prasad is anything which is cooked in langar and then offered to anybody who is visiting the Gurdwara. Sorry, I don't know why my camera went off.
All
But,
right. The Golden Temple is spectacular, and that I put in the chat there. They serve around about 100,000 people food every day. I've never seen a kitchen quite like it. But that emphasis on kind of being together, and being open to anybody. The Golden Temple, and I think all Gurdwaras have doors facing northeast, south, and west.
Uh,
Um,
yes, so the concept of having four doors in Gurdwara is because about equality, like everyone is welcome from all walks of life, and that's why all the major Gurdwaras, historically built especially, will have four doors, so you can enter from anywhere, you can exit from anywhere. There is no VIP treatment given to anybody. The prasad, which is langar, is served equally to everyone, and same food is given to everyone. There is no special dishes cooked for any VIPs ever.
I think that's a really unique thing about visiting a Gurdwara is that it's almost impossible to go without eating. In the langar, that's sort of expected, and that's a really wonderful thing for students to sort of see how that is the kind of principle of Siba and so on in action. I'd just like to pick up on a couple of things that people put in the chat and just find out a little bit more about that. So, Leanne, you said that you had a Sikh parent come into school to talk to your students. Can you tell us anything about that? You're muted at the moment, Leanne, so perhaps we've lost you temporarily. Or we'll come back to you if you're able to tell us about that. That would be great. And Karen, you said you followed the Saffron Trust and you have got Sikhism through three lenses over all year groups. Would you tell us
Yeah.
anything about what works really well for you?
Um, well, this is sort of I suppose we've done one cycle of it so far.
Yeah.
We get to the end of this year. So it's still relatively sort of new to us. And but we're just enjoying it. I think the feedback I got is that there's a nice range of activities and things to do, as opposed to perhaps the previous way we were doing it, which tended to be just sort of focusing on buildings and then other aspects.
What are the big questions that you use around Sikhism?
Um, we've done how do people express their commitment to a religion? So that was a mix of us. So we've looked at Judaism, Christianity, and Sikhism for that one. And another one we've done is about what do we mean by truth, and is seeing believing. That's quite an interesting one.
There is seeing
Quite a
believing.
hard concept to get your head around, I think, for some of the children. But
Yeah, I think, I mean, you could probably have the forming of the Khalsa as being a really interesting way to look at that, where you have the appearance of the five committed and Shweta, please stop me at any point, okay? But the five kind of committed Sikhs entering this tent to show their commitment, and there's a sort of a silhouette, is how it's kind of shown in videos and so on. But it's like they're being beheaded.
Yeah.
And they've got to be prepared to lay down their life, and there's that kind of deliberate sort of seeing one thing but it being something else. That might you might be an interesting thing to explore there. But I
Yeah.
guess you've also got the miraculous, haven't you? Which features in early in Nanak's life, performing miracles which favour the marginalised or underprivileged, which is kind of directly rallying against the caste system. Um, and crossing caste boundaries, which would have put him at odds with the majority Hindu population at that time. So there's quite a lot of, and again, that sort of reinforces the whole fighting against social injustice, and having to be fierce, which is quite an interesting way to look at it. Great. My mouse has just frozen, so I'm actually I was the laptop. Right. Oh yeah. Okay. That will work.
Just to let you know, Ben, I'm able to stay for the call because I managed to find alternate time for my other meeting. So I'm happy to.
Oh, Shweta, thank you so much. Well, we'll be finished by 5 o'clock, but it's really valuable to have you here to add anything. In terms of like getting hold of, say, for example, the 5Ks, where would you suggest that people went to in order to get any sort of Sikh resources? And what would you suggest other than the 5Ks?
Mm.
So that's very interesting to, other than the 5Ks, usually what we do is like we have given same things to the GEMS, the Anglia Ruskin University is um, like, it's a small version of the prayer book, not the whole Guru Granth Sahib, but a prayer book. And I got the copies like on left hand the page is the actual prayer, and then the right hand is the English translation of it, and then they can read in English and understand, but the words are actually from Guru Granth Sahib. So that's one thing which is something I would encourage. And then we have the small khanda which I was showing on the call, like small khanda, small ek omkar. On the first slide there were like two golden ones with like tabletop. People, we usually have it in our cars, like in car in front of the dashboard. So that's something which you can keep as an article of faith, which is I'm trying to see here, which is something which does not require uh, continuous monitoring. Like uh, you can keep it in a cupboard and people won't object to that. That's why I'm like trying to think. And then uh a small Nishan Sahib, it's like tabletops, like I have again here, which is, I don't know, again, I can show on the screen. So this is like Nishan Sahib with Khanda. So this will be very much practical for kids to see the shape of it and understand there are two swords and then one center swords, and then this is the circle. And then these are the Nishan Sahib. So this is like a tabletop, and the Khanda ones, the Ek Omkar ones, and 5Ks, I would say to be careful with the Kirpan, because you can get like a dummy kirpan to keep in, if you want to kids to have a look at it closely, because a kirpan is sharp, small dagger, and I wouldn't want any children to be around it unsupervised. And then there is small comb. So what happens is, like, when someone is baptized as a Sikh and they want to follow, so what we have is uh, in a locket, people wear the 5Ks as a symbol. And I don't have any with me at the moment, but next time when I travel to India, hopefully soon, I'll try to get few for you, Ben, and then you can share it with people who can, who want to keep it. Which it will have a small knife, like, sorry, not knife, small kirpan, and small comb, which is kanga kind of thing in a locket, so you can wear it. And then cases like hairs, uncut hairs. Obviously, it's with Sikh people, so you can't really keep it.
So you could get, when I worked at, I think this was at Southend Boys, we had a chowry, which is I think it was horsehair traditionally,
So
attached to Well, I guess somewhere, how would you call it? A handle, effectively, and that's used when the Guru Granth Sahib is being read. It's being treated like a guru or like royalty, arguably, perhaps at that time. So at that time, and I guess since then, to keep the flies off of anything that was really important, you would have a person whose job was to wave this horsehair above it. So when the Guru Granth Sahib is being read, this is being waved above it to ensure that no flies land on the book or dust, I suppose. And that's quite good if you were thinking about building a role play or something around that. There was Cara, you had asked about speakers, artifacts, so I think we've probably covered that to some extent.
Yeah.
Unless there's anything else you want to look for there. Katie at Abacus, you talked about local links based in Wickford. So I guess that it's sort of Ilford is the nearest Gurdwara, and then Shweta is the nearest person. So I mean, I don't know if we've got the contact details for Sikhs at Chelmsford, so that should handle that. And then I mean, I guess probably that point. About from Leanne about bringing in Sikh, parents and to find out people's lived experience is obviously really, really powerful.
Yeah, sorry, I have got that.
Ah.
I froze. I couldn't. Oh, it's been absolutely wonderful. So I've got a boy in year 6. I've actually taught his brother as well, and he's got a younger sister that have gone on to senior school. Sikh family, and he was desperate to share more information about his religion. And he sat with me at the front, and he told us so much, and we learned so much. And the children, I said, "Oh, create a mind map and write down as much as you can." And he brought in the 5Ks, and I believe it's the Kara, the bracelet. He was telling us all about that, and he was saying that his hair was just below his knees, and then saying how long his brothers were. It was just amazing. And he did, I can't remember the name of it, but he's just turned 11, so he's had a special birthday. Is it something of his turban or something?
Yes. At 11 years, they officiate a turban, like as I mentioned, like initially they just wear a cloth because it's easier to light to carry. And then at around 11 or 14 years, we do a part, which is a 3-day procession at home. And when we do third day, Samapti, which is ending of reading of the whole Guru Granth Sahib. In 3 days, it's read continuously, non-stop, without a break. Different people sit and then read it. And so it's like that part is done, which is called Akhand part, which is Akhand means unbroken. So it's a 3-day continuous recital of the book. And at the end, then they will adorn the child with the turban saying, we are it's kind of baptization, I would say, but it's not the only way to do baptization.
Yeah, he
And
said he got a lot of money.
gifts and money, and then there would be again vegetarian food served to the guests, which is langar.
Honestly, it was absolutely wonderful to hear from him, and his mum came in and did an assembly. She's actually a senior school teacher of English, but it was just so lovely, and for the kids as well, being through like the same class of 30 from reception all the way up to year 6. They followed his journey with him, so it's really lovely. Yeah, it's been really nice.
So sometime when people have like one male child, only one male child in the family, sometimes this procession can go up to the grand level of a wedding as well, because people are so excited that
Oh,
appreciate.
it's been wonderful. It's been really, really good. And I think it's been really interesting. Thank you.
Can I ask which school was it, Leanne?
Badder Hall Juniors in Chelmsford.
Oh, okay, so we do know a couple of people in Baddow Hall Junior, but I don't know any sibling as in. Actually, I think someone approached me from Baddow Hall Junior. Was it you, Liam?
It may have been, or it may have been who was SLT who used to do RE, which was Greg Whitehead. I don't know, but yeah, I've tried to think who else would do it. Possibly him, because he's the lead. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Because I think I got an email from Great Baddow. I think we are just trying to get in the right time for me to go and have conversation.
Oh, I bet it was him then. Yeah. Oh no, it's lovely. Thank you.
That reading of the Guru Granth Sahib from beginning to end, I think, is something that is entirely unique to Sikhism. I don't know of any other faith that have a practice where you read from beginning to end of the holy book in a continuous fashion, and it happens quite a lot, doesn't it? I mean, anything auspicious, that you want to be blessed effectively would have that going on. At the Golden Temple in Amritsar, there are multiple booths all the way around the outside. There's the main reading of the Guru Granth Sahib, but then there are booths where people might go to arrange to have that done to bless the birth of a new child or something like that. So it's really interesting to see that kind of center of it.
It's like at the big when we have a wedding at home. So to kickstart the procession, we will do Akhand Path. So if we don't do Akhand Path, the procession is not yet started. So we cannot start without doing Akhand Path at home, most likely. If not, then we go in Gurdwara, and as Ben mentioned. So there will be one main place where the prayer is happening on daily basis at Gurdwara, but on the sides you can request people to do a Akhand Path for you, like as in a Sikh family or anybody else as well, where they will recite the whole Guru Granth Sahib for you in 3 days, and then towards the end there will be an ardas, which is summarizing like we have done this for you, and then we seek this blessing for so and so reason, kind of stuff. So yes, Ben, it's I think you have a lot of experience. I didn't realize you have that much exposure.
I was I was one of the best men at two Sikh friends' wedding some years ago, and there were a lot of events associated with that. It was a lot of responsibilities, and I learned that turban tying is some significant art that
Yeah.
I have not yet
Yeah.
mastered.
People can tie on their own, but not on others. So it is an art. It's same like
That is.
wearing a
So-
sari is like I can wear it myself, but if someone asks me to help them wear it, I can't. And turban is the same like that.
Well, I think we're getting to the end now. So, I mean, thanks so much, Shweta, for being here. I have put into the chat a link to the folder where I keep the Shweta's resources. There's also some that she posted, which she did for the Essex Police, which adds a really interesting dimension that you're welcome to have a look at. I've got the standard knowledge builder slides that I've done for all of the religions, which will have links to all kinds of quality assured resources. So anything that you're looking for, you might be able to find in there. Lots of videos, lots of good stuff. You're welcome, of course, to ask me at any point if there's anything that you're particularly looking for or a problem you're trying to solve. And yeah, thanks everyone so much for being here. I hope that was useful to you. And I think you've got a point of contact now for anything else that you'd like to develop. And thanks everyone for sharing the good things that you're doing. Great. I'll hang on for a few minutes if there's anything that anyone's after. But otherwise, thank you so much, Shweta, for that really informative foundation. That's wonderful. Thank you.
No, I would just like to take this opportunity to say my thank you to everyone who listened to me. I was not very well prepared because I was in between calls at work. So appreciate your patience and listening, and really, the genuine interest in knowing about my religion. And as I mentioned and Ben mentioned, like, you have my contact details. Please feel free to just send me an email or Instagram, Facebook, anything, whichever is convenient, and then we'll be happy to answer your queries or do anything if you want us to come down and speak and stuff. Like, we try to keep it more inclusive in terms of, like, I can request a priest from Gurdwara to come and talk, but then we don't do that because we want the conversations to be more relatable to the children, where we try to bring in young people from the group, so that they can talk to kids in their own language and their own styles and stuff, so that they can feel very comfortable in asking and grasp as much as possible.
Well, thanks everybody. Have a lovely rest of your summer.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
See you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ben.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks.